even the guys that are, relatively speaking, higher caliber in their 5 mile radius, still in their eyes are now low caliber. So
Mm-hmm.
like you and I, back when we were, let's say, 15 years old, right? That for me, that would have been 1988, roughly. So late 80s, right? We, compared to the guy that just sold his $300 million business in St. Bart's, we're not high caliber.
No.
I was not high caliber at all. But compared to the local guys that I was competing with at the time, I was. I was extroverted. I'm not the dumbest guy in the room, 6'4". Yeah, you had a lot to offer. But now the game has completely changed. And unfortunately, where this leads is just more and more women being frustrated, more and more men being frustrated. But the pool of young men who go into that bucket, I think they're going to start to lose hope. And whether it's consciously or subconsciously. And I think that loss of hope is going to drive their decision-making process for where they put their paycheck and how they allocate their resources that they do have moving forward. I think that's where it plays into the market and asset prices.
Yeah, you have a very, very good idea of what's happening. I'd like to hear it again because we talked about it, before. So let them know what's up with that.
Yeah, so the higher number of men that fall into this category where it's very difficult, if not impossible, for them to get a date, subconsciously, they're very driven. I don't think there's any more powerful hardwiring in the human mind than wanting your genes to continue after you're gone. And
Yeah.
for us, that's just having kids, right? And for guys, that first step is dating. So if they look at, and by the way, I think another component of it, Rich, is the gals that are within that 5 mile radius that the guys are talking to on a daily basis. Let's say the gals that they're going to college with, or the gals that they work with at the local law firm or whatever it is, right? Or their summer jobs, like you were saying. They probably follow them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they follow them on Instagram, they see them in St. Bart's on the guy's yacht, the 150-foot yacht. And what do they think to themselves subconsciously? I've got no chance.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no chance. And then they look at their life and they look at their purchasing power declining as a result of something like inflation. And they look at all the lack of opportunities they have, and they're like, screw it. The only way that I can possibly have a shot in life is if I just take every single dime of my paycheck and just bet on whatever has the most risk and whatever has the highest volatility. And if at the time that's Dogecoin, well, then screw it. I'll just put 100% of my paycheck, and then I'll max out a credit card or take out a payday loan just to buy Doge.
Yeah.
And if I fail, so what? I'm back in the exact same spot where I was, but I just got more debt. I'm going to file bankruptcy anyway. But if by chance, I hit a winner and I have a miracle, now all of a sudden I've made $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game, and now I've got a realistic chance to pass along my genes, or in other words, to have a kid. Mm-hmm. And I think as women become more and more successful, which again, more power to them, I think that's what's going to happen. It creates an environment where more and more men fall into that category, to where the only shot they have is YOLO. And so what that means to a prudent investor is this is not the end of the meme stock craze. This is not the end to the crypto craze. This is just the beginning. We're just taking a breather, and we haven't seen anything yet. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, this is going to repeat. We've seen it with Floki coin, Dogecoin, whatever new shit coin is coming up that they want to blow up and get everybody's attention with. We talked about GameStop the other day. There was a Twitter handle. I can't remember his name. You mentioned it earlier.
Roaring Kitty.
Yeah, Kitty guy. He's got huge engagement, and by the types of posts that he's putting out there, it's not wealthy, influential guys that are following his content, clearly. So there's a lot of pull. There's a lot of pull, a lot of gravity, with that.
But ironically, Rich, it is a lot of super rich guys. A lot of the St. Bart's guys are following Roaring Kitty
I
because
just
what they're
followed him
doing,
today because you mentioned it, because I found it interesting.
but they're selling
The
to the
pull.
retail. They're selling
Okay.
to the retail. So this
Yeah.
even exacerbates the problem.
Okay.
Where if you look at that guy, that what is Rolo call him, the average frustrated chump, right?
AFC.
If you look at the AFC in Cleveland, right, and he's saying, okay, my only shot is to bet my $500 on AMC and buy calls because Roaring Kitty is back. What he doesn't understand is the other side of that trade, the market maker that's selling him those massively overpriced call options that he's likely to lose money on is going to be that guy that's vacationing in St. Bart's.
Right.
And so the hedge fund guys now are following the Roaring Kitty, and they're doing that to take advantage
So they've caught
of the
on to it.
retail investor that supposedly he represents.
Yeah, I saw that a couple of days ago. Andrew Tate made some tweets about it. There's a few people with millions of followers that have certainly capitalized on it.
Portnoy mentioned it. Portnoy went off on it this morning, as you would imagine.
It's, I mean, can you blame these guys? Like, what other hope do they have? They've been told their entire lives that you're fine just the way that you are. Just be yourself. A large chunk of young men today have been raised in single mother households, and those are generally beta factories. These guys are just kind, gentle guys that will go out and do what they've told to do, which is just do the right thing. They tell women, do what's right for you. So there's two different conversations happening there, and they're quickly learning that when they make an advance or an approach to a girl, whether it's in real life on a dating app, or even a lot of these guys will follow girls on OnlyFans and pay for their subscription, hoping that they'll see the virtue and benefit of their kindness at some point in the future and want to be with them. But when they come to the realization, when they hit that brick wall and they see this doesn't work, being a nice guy doesn't work. I see the guys that are getting the girls because I'm following the Instagram models, and I see them in St. Bart's, as an example, with these guys. Clearly they have an interest in other things other than nice guys. And it's unfortunate that most of the young men today out there have been sold this stack of lies, comforting lies instead of the uncomfortable truth, and told not to go and do something with their life. I think guys like us in our generation were told by our fathers and our grandfathers, be useful, do something of some use in your life, go out there and put some kind of a dent in the universe, make a strong effort, be relentless, fall down, get back up. But a lot of guys today, it's like, hey, if I can, like you said, $500 on GameStop, let's see what happens with this. Maybe it'll turn to 500,000, or I lose the 500, no big deal. I guess I'll just, take a cash advance on my next paycheck. It's unfortunate, but I think that your observation is very astute and probably closer to the truth than speculation. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.